It is Thursday, June 21st. This is a very tired, so tired guy's daily drive. Everyone, it is Guy's Daily Drive, and it's been a while since I recorded one, even longer since I've actually posted one. I've got, I think, 3 or 4 that I have video for that I haven't edited yet, and honestly, it doesn't really take me that long to edit these, but the run-up to the events that I'm about to speak of was a very, very busy time. So there really wasn't any time to get the stuff done that I wanted to get done. And the added fun of also converting these to strictly audio. Actually, let me tell you something that I'm looking to do. I'm looking at getting a lavalier mic, and if you don't know what a lavalier mic is, it's those little mics that you'll see clipped to people's lapels and collars and sleeves, wherever it is that people can put them, so that they can speak and have their voices recorded without having to hold a handheld microphone or have one dangling in front of their face like I do with Mac to the Future and the MyMac Podcast. And I had actually bought some, I guess it was last month maybe. It was this pack of 3 or 4, and they were all just total crap. Just really, really awful. None of them worked. And we'll see if these do any better. Or if this one, I should say, does any better. Because I would like to up the audio a little bit in Guy's Daily Drive. Because there's so much background noise related to the car that it's, just something I would like to improve a little bit. But what has been going on in my life? Well, I just got back last night, or really this morning, from Boise, Idaho. Now that is where my mother-in-law lives, and she was celebrating her 90th birthday, which is amazing. I hope I get to 90 and that I'm in as good a shape as she is. This is the same woman who last December broke her pelvis in 3 places. And within probably about a month, was not only out of the hospital, but was out of rehab and up and walking around again. And, I can talk a little bit more about her on another time, but this is mostly about just getting there and getting back. And some of the stuff that we did while we were there, which wasn't much. But we flew out. We flew out last Wednesday, which I think is the 14th of June. Relatively uneventful flight. I hate flying, just on general purpose, general reasons. But honestly, there is no way that we could go from where we are, just outside of D.C., all the way to Boise, Idaho, in a reasonable amount of time. I actually Google mapped it once, and it's like, I think like about a 36-hour drive. So maybe a little less, maybe a little more. But it's a long-ass drive. And unless you have at least 2 people that are willing to sit in a car for that amount of time, there's just no way to do it. And it would have been, one of those things where we drive there, walk into her mother's house, say, "Hey, happy birthday! Sorry, gotta go," and then immediately drive back. So that's not happening. But we got out there, and once we arrived, and it was actually relatively early in the day, got our rental car. It was a Jeep Compass, brand new 2018 Jeep Compass. And almost from the very moment I started the car and started to drive it, I hated it. It had CarPlay, but it didn't work for crap. Basically, because I was using Google Maps, I'm not really super familiar with the Boise area. So I wanted to use not Google Maps, but Apple Maps. And the part where you're coming up on a turn and the volume of whatever it is you're listening to dies down, and then the either the Apple Maps lady or the Google Maps lady, damn, I'm tired, turns down the volume, and then you can hear whatever directions it is that she's trying to send you in. Well, couldn't hear it. There was just no volume. Very frustrating. And the other thing that this car did that was just so weird. And at first I thought, well, there's something defective about this car. But it turns out that's the way it was designed. And what I'm talking about is you pull up to a light, you stop the car, assuming you have a red light, because no other reason to stop the car. And as soon as the car comes to a complete stop, the engine cuts off. Now that by itself is disconcerting. The other thing that happens, as soon as this happens, if you have the air conditioning on, the air conditioning is affected, and it just, the whole car just feels unresponsive. Of course, the engine is off. And I get that this is supposed to be a gas-saving feature, but really, how much gas are you saving, or how much pollution are you not emitting while you're sitting 30 seconds at a traffic light, and then the car has to go through the engine, or not so much the whole car, but the engine has to go through the startup procedure as soon as you take your foot off the gas. And it has to do it relatively quickly. Otherwise, you sit there at the light trying to go, and there's no power because the engine is off. This is how the car was designed. And there was no way that I could tell to shut that off, which I would have happily done. I could have lived with the CarPlay problems because, it's such a nice big screen in these things when you're using CarPlay that you don't necessarily need to know when the next turn is. Plus, of course, I also have an Apple Watch, so it's buzzing on my wrist as soon as we start to come up on whatever turn it is. But all of these things combined, CarPlay not working really the way it was supposed to, and the weird-ass way that the car drove, and the fact that I just wasn't very comfortable. I mean, the car itself wasn't that comfortable. It was just kind of cramped, and the seats weren't all that. I don't know. But I went back the next day, Tracy was like, well, just give it a day. It's like, I'm paying for a car, prepaid for the car, and it's just not a good experience. So why am I going to keep a car that I'm not enjoying driving, especially since it's a rental? So I took it back, and they had a couple of events going on in Boise that week. There was a, what do they call that, X Games thing going on there, as well as a LGB, I don't know the entire acronym, alternative lifestyle, whatever, big to-do. So most of the cars were spoken for. They were already pre-rented. And the only thing that they could give me was either a truck, which I really did not want, or I would have to upgrade to an Infiniti Q70. Yeah, I know, first world problems. I know. And I was thinking, okay, well, the other option is I just cancel the rest of this contract and I get a car from somebody else. And that's actually what the guy at the car rental company suggested. So I said, okay, well, let's do that. Go ahead. And he said, well, I'll hang on to the reservation just in case that, these other people have the same problem that we have and they don't have any cars. That made sense. So I was standing in line in front of a different rental car company when the guy from the first car company came running over, and he was like, oh, sorry, but you did this through Expedia, and sure, you can turn this car in, but you're still going to end up paying for the entire length of the contract, because it's all, prepaid, and there's discounts and all the rest of that you get through Expedia. So I was like, damn it. So I went back, I was like, okay, I'll do the upgrade, I'll pay the extra. Oh, goodness gracious, give me an Infiniti Q70, which is a very nice car, very quick. Its navigation system, it has built-in navigation system, honestly was crap. The user interface for it was just awful. Not intuitive at all. I mean, we finally did figure it out because we had a couple places that we were going to that even my sister-in-law, who's lived there now for a couple of months, didn't know how to get to. But this is a top-level Nissan product. Infiniti, for people who don't know, is a luxury car brand that is wholly owned by Nissan. But anyway, we got through that, and the car was very comfortable to drive, very quick, reasonably good on gas. But for the most part, we just plugged stuff into our phones. If we needed to go someplace that we didn't know how to get to, we'd plug it into our phone, and then I would just put the phone, I didn't mount it like I do here in this car. Still have the Ford Flex, by the way. But, yeah, so, sorry, I am tired. So I had this Infiniti Q70, and I had that for the rest of the trip. And I see that we are kind of running out of time, so I will save what happened next for a future Guy's Daily Drive. If you'd like to get a hold of me, send me an email, guy@gmail.com. Sorry, I'm going to have to cut that out. Guy@mymac.com. Maybe I won't. I don't know. It depends if I remember. Or guy@mttfgo.com. I'm on the Twitters, Mac Parrot. And of course, I also do the MyMac.com podcast and the Mac to the Future Go livecast every Wednesday night, or most Wednesday nights, at 8 p.m. Mac stock is less than a month away. You can get your all-access weekend badge, pass, blah, 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 for a grand total of $179 if you use the coupon code MyMac, MYMAC. And it is going to be so much fun. The MyMac game show is going to be going on. That's going to be a blast. So don't miss it if you're going to be in the Chicago area, July 21st and 22nd. That is MacStock. Just check it out. Just Google MacStock, and there'll be about a billion different websites or a billion different ways to get to the main site. So that's going to about do it. Next time I'll talk about the rest of the trip and the fabulous flights home. He said, through gritted teeth, though it really wasn't that bad. Just me being a complainer because I hate flying. So we will catch you next time on Guy's Daily Drive.